your boyfriend's a bitch, he ain't shit. He can suck on my dick, I ain't with all that shit. Why he do you like this when you're home all alone? Why he out fucking around with them hoes? Cause your boyfriend's a bitch, he ain't shit. He can suck on my dick, I ain't with all that shit. Why he do you like this when you're home all alone? Why he out fucking around with them hoes? I can tell you down bad, girl. I can tell you down bad. And I ain't got much to give you except what I got in my hand. Ain't no one best ever hurt you. Ain't no one best make you cry. If anybody fuck with you, then anybody can die. He might not know what he got, but he gon' know when it's gone. He just trying to cuff you like the 5-0. I just wanna see you live your life though. I just wanna see you sing and dance. Don't wanna see you held down by your man. Tons of men could do you right. Leave that little bitch tonight, baby. Cause your boyfriend's a bitch, he ain't shit. He can suck on my dick, I ain't with all that shit. Why he do you like this when you're home all alone? Why he out fucking around with them hoes? Cause your boyfriend's a bitch, he ain't shit. He can suck on my dick, I ain't with all that shit. Why he do you like this when you're home all alone? Why he out fucking around with them hoes? I couldn't help but notice you ain't got no man here. You need someone to stand by. I need someone to stand here when I got no hope. You bring me more joy. So how's a girl like you feel about a poor boy raised out the gutter? Was it your story? Every time you wanna cry, do you hold it on the side? Wanna scrub like me? You want a chore, boy? What the fuck you wanna try? Yelling murder till I die. Tell you bitch, he about to be a sore boy. You know motherfucking why I can't lie. Cause your boyfriend's a bitch, he ain't shit. He can suck on my dick, I ain't with all that shit. Why he do you like this? Why you home all alone? Why he out fucking round with them hoes? Cause your boyfriend's a bitch, he ain't shit. He can suck on my dick, I ain't with all that shit. Why he do you like this? Why you home all alone? While he out fucking round with them hoes?
Screwing up. Tired of going down, tired of myself, tired of this town.
Yeah, Freestyle Friday number 17. My name is E-Double, his name is Tom Petty, and here we go. Small pond, big pond, the fish are the only difference. City out of harmony, lingering on the dissonance. Fishermen wrapping up citizens with their fishing nets. Sometimes chemicals, some played old imprisonment. Dissidents laughing at themselves as if they had a voice, acting like technology really gives them a better choice. Protect the borders as we stack up our elitism. Defeatism is what we pretend that we keep believing in. I'm straddling both lines, the quietest revolt. Politicians fake like they caring that we vote. Legalese verbose, cause if it's plain English, then that's ADD riddle, and riddle children might get it. And if they do, then you're fucked. When they know what's up, you might start seeing public servants dressed as little punks. No tie, no suit, they just looking for some truth.
Welcome in, guys, to a People After Dark. Holy cow. What is the world coming to? Jesus, Louise, Mary and Joseph. Let me get this camera adjusted here. Look at Jesus. Oh, hope everybody's doing well this evening. I came across a story. Well, thank you, Tara. I appreciate that, buddy. Tara, guys, my heterosexual life partner. I've known him almost as long as I've known my wife. And not only that, I'm trying to think. Nah, I don't know. Oh, you be getting some loving. You be getting a lot of loving on V-Day, baby. You know I'll be taking care of my number one. Now, listen, so I came across this story. Oh, shoot. Hang on here a second, guys. I've got to do something. that I haven't got to do in a very long time. Just give me 1 second here. Just give me 1 second here. Where's the thing at? Come on here now. Go here. Then I got to come over here to this. Turn that shit off there. And I think here, yes. Let's give some memberships, guys, because we haven't done that in a while. Let's give some memberships. So who we got there? Neon Nietzsche. Who is it? It's going by so darn fast. Hang on here. BMO and L Mad Max. Welcome to the Coffee Beans.
I like beer.
Shut up, Bobby. You're an alcoholic. Everybody knows that.
I like beer.
And let's see who else is going to get some. Who else is going to get some? What the fuck nows?
Beer.
Beth Polinsky. Come on. Come on.
I like beer.
Come on. There should be some more there. Who else? Come on. Come on. Well, there should have been 5. It didn't get, okay, whatever. Whatever. I don't know. It is what it is. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Anyway. So anyway, let's get right into the story, guys. Let's not turn that just smidge. I'm okay. You're on your way. Well, listen, I'm glad to see you're on your way home, darling. I'm glad to see you're on your way home. Yeah, tears up in the house tonight. Can you believe that? Anyway, so I came. Man, my nose is running. I gotta lay off that booger sugar. So anyway, that's a joke. Do I look like I do booger sugar? I couldn't afford booger sugar if I wanted to. Good to meet you. Hey, good to meet you too, Tommy. Temper Show. Good to meet you. So anyway, since we definitely have a new person in the chat, and so you don't know this, but I have been doing as a career. I have been doing IT work for 30 some odd years now. And if the good Lord sees fit, I will be retiring in just a little under 2 years. I will be able to retire, and I will no longer have to work for a living. I paid my dues time after time. I've given a sentence and committed no crime. Mistakes, yes, I've made a few. But I won't quote any more of the song to you. But anyway, I've been doing IT work for about 30 some odd years now, give or take. And I've seen a lot of changes. I've seen a lot of things come and go over the years. I really, truly, I have. And anyway, I came across this story in my news feed, and I was like, you've got to be kidding me. But I couldn't, I could believe it, but then I couldn't believe it. Okay. So anyway, so what happened is this the, okay. So I've got a couple of different videos we're going to watch about this story. And then we're going to talk about this, of course, as you know, as I do, I ramble on a lot or what have you, right? Let's see here. Turn that off, that off, that off. What the? Where? Hang on a second, guys. I have not used. What the hell? I have not used this in a while. I have not used this in a while. Okay, it's there. What's the deal? What's the problem? Okay, all right. It's okay. I guess it's working now. Turn that back off. Turn that off. Okay. But anyway, let's just get into this because can this here? No, I want this one here and this one here. Okay, so okay, make sure we got the good quality on here. We don't want none of that cheap quality. Let's go here. Okay, so basically, these two guys here work for a cybersecurity company called oh Jesus, what's the name of this company? Okay. Oh, I'm sure they'll get into it. I can't remember. Okay, now what I want you to notice here on this, guys, is this originally story aired October the 30th of, oh, you guys can't see it. It's okay. This originally aired October the 30th, 2019. Okay. So this story is about what is that, about 5 years old, 6 years old now, something like that. See, well, $19-20. It's like, Lord, this is 7 years. Yeah, it's like 7 years ago that this happened, right? So I know what you're saying. You're saying, well, Riv, why are you talking about a story that happened 7 years ago? Well, I'm going to tell you. So basically what happened was this company was hired by the state of Iowa to do pen testing on their county and state agencies, right? And so they had a signed contract, the whole deal. Now, they go out to this courthouse and they go up to the front door and the door is open. Wide open. It's not locked, nothing, right? And so they pull the door to, and so the alarm system wasn't set. So they pull the door to set the alarm, right? Because the whole purpose is that they are sent there to test under functioning situations. And so for them just to walk on in is not an actual test, or was not actually engaging the tool sets and stuff that these guys has and was wanting, and they're wanting to do, right? So law enforcement officers show up because when they opened the door after they closed it and made sure the latch had caught and that the security, the alarm system had engaged, they then got into the jail, or into the courthouse rather. And of course, alarms were triggered, as you would hope they would do, right? And so these deputy sheriffs show up, as you would expect them to do. Alarm goes off, they come in. They detain the two gentlemen to find out and to ascertain what was going on. They go, so in their conversations and through their investigations and everything, they find out what these guys were there, what their purpose was. They had all their paperwork and everything. They checked everything was good to go. Well, the sheriff comes rolling up. And the sheriff says, and so one of the deputies goes over and says, okay, here's what, starts proceeding to tell the sheriff what was going on to, get him up on the loop. And he says, we're about to release them. And the sheriff says, no. He says, cuff them and arrest them, take them downtown, process them, everything, which they do because the sheriff is their boss. And so these two gentlemen were locked up for 20 plus hours in the jail. Now, the good news is they were eventually released. However, that's when the finger pointing started, because you know how politicians are, right? So the state level politicians that hired this company, right, said, nope, we don't, this is not what we know, no, and denied, right? They were basically, what is that? When you see the movies, the spy movies and stuff, and they always tell the spies, if disavowed. So that's the word. So the state elected officials, right? These are people who were elected by the constituents of Iowa. And they were doing a good thing, by the way, hiring a cybersecurity company to come in and do testing on their facilities, right? Actual penetration, not just at the, like, testing the like for two computers and stuff, right? To make sure that they're, that they've got their firewalls up and they've got all the software patched and stuff like that, so there's no vulnerabilities there, so that people, because when you hire a company, right, to do pen testings, there's different degrees, right? There's the physical pen testing, where they'll come out and they will try to get into your computer network and try to, a lot of times through what they call social engineering. Another way they'll try to gain access to your network is they'll engage in a phishing scheme, which means they send out emails and stuff to employees, and get the employees to fall for this phishing scheme, which is to give up their login credentials. So then they can log in and then they can gain access. And then another way that they do is they'll actually, like I said, they'll physically try to get into the institute or into the company, whatever, and try to infiltrate their infrastructure, networking, stuff like that, through a physical means, which is what they were hired to do by the state legislature, to do this to all their county agencies and state agencies and things like that in the state of Iowa, which is a really good thing because, federal, or not federal, but like, well, of course, federal, but in this situation, it was just state and local governments.
I need a dick now.
Good Lord, K-Huck, you need a dick now? You need to go talk to Mr. Huck. I can't help you with that. Good gravy, woman. So anyway, because these institutions, right, these federal or these state and local institutions that we all have in every one of the states, no matter where we live at, if you're in the U.S., they have all your data, man. Right? They have your name, they have your social security number, they have your address, they have your date of birth, they have everything on you as a citizen within those counties or whatever, as a resident, right? Right. So anyway, so them doing this kind of a pen testing stuff was a good thing because, they wanted to ensure that they were being, diligent with that data, that information that, they have of their residents of the state of Iowa. So I commend them for that. But when they disavowed this company that they hired to do this, and these two guys are left hung out to dry, and they're over here in this, they're locked up in the jail for over 20 hours. And so this got so bad, the situation, and this is why this is 5 years later or whatever, that this is still going on. They finally came to a conclusion. For 5 years, this has been going on because what happened was, exactly, Mr. Huck, help her. She needs help. She says she needs a dick. I can't help her, so you're going to have to help her. Anyway, so then what happens is these guys, So this goes all the way up to the Supreme Court of the state of Iowa, because the prosecuting attorney for the county, this Dallas County, where this all transpired, and everything, did not want to drop the charges that was levied against these two gentlemen. And the Supreme Court, like I said, had to step in. And so this video I want to spend more time on that we're fixing to watch here. This is an update to this story.
Cybersecurity experts. They were
Thank
hired
you,
by the
K-Hut.
state judicial system
Sorry about that.
to help expose weaknesses in the state's cybersecurity operations. That includes visiting some buildings in Des Moines, as well as the Dallas County Courthouse. I'm told it was a progressive move by the state to conduct tests like this. But that normal day quickly took a turn. This was the target for Gary DeMercurio and Justin Wen, then of a cybersecurity company called CoalFire, on a September 9th.
CoalFire is the name of the company. And this, like I said, this originally happened back in 2019 when all this transpired.
2015. Not to steal anything from the Dallas County Courthouse, but rather expose the vulnerabilities in the county's security. They had a contract with the Iowa Judicial Branch. For them, this was just another day at the office.
The point isn't to win. For us, the point is to actually test something to see how secure it really is.
When they arrived, they saw the front door of the courthouse was already unlocked, leading to the security system to not function as it was designed. After they closed the door to activate the system, they went about their business, breaking into the now locked door with a plastic cutting board to trigger the alarm. The Adel Police Department and the Dallas County Sheriff's Office showed up within minutes.
How's it going?
Good. We just came to find you. We're security. We work with CoalFire, and the court system they're having us test all the brothers.
Body camera footage shows more and more officers arrive on scene. Wynn says police started asking questions.
What are you guys doing in our courthouse with the alarm going off? Sir, we're hired by the state. We're testing security. Here's our paperwork, IDs. Go ahead and run us. We'll just hang out.
After providing the officers with all of the paperwork from the state, the two were about to be let go. This is until former Sheriff Chad Leonard showed up saying they've never had anything like this happen before.
Yeah, so they're going to arresting charges. I'll call Chuck.
The two were handcuffed and booked into the Dallas County Jail, where they sat for nearly 20 hours. Those charges were later dropped, but they say the impact has stuck with them for these 5 years.
So one of the things you have to keep in mind, right, is these guys are in cybersecurity, right? So it's very important that you have a clean police record, right? For a company to hire you, right, and for you to stay gainfully employed, you can't be having, the state legislature, right, denied having any type of thing to do with them. They disavowed this whole thing, right? And we're going to get into this. The reporter goes into what happened. So it's important when you're in the IT industry, right? Not just cybersecurity per se, but IT as a whole, because a lot of times, or more times than not, when you're in IT, you have access to sensitive information, right? And so it's very, very important that you can be trustworthy, right? And so if you have a criminal record, right, and this made the news, right? So there's these guys' mug shots is out there, right? So in the eyes of, general public, right, if they transfer jobs and they start doing a check on them, they start running background checks, which is will happen when you go into when you're doing IT work, right? They do background checks on you to to see what kind of a person you are, right? This would keep popping up. So needless to say, right, this whole incident here, right, was very damaging to their career, their progress within the the cybersecurity industry as a whole, and their reputation, right? This is like this is like that Casper or McAfee used to do with ops. One does the op to infect the other to prevent. How did the government disavow this when they contracted? Well, the reason why so here's what happened. Well, you know what? Rather than me, let's just finish watching this clip because they go into all that. So you want to listen to me stammer and stumble through it.
You see somebody in a mugshot, dude's guilty. Why else would he get arrested? Type deal. So that's definitely lasted with us throughout personal lives, professional opportunities, promotions, job ops, whatever it is. Yeah, definitely not great for your career.
This week, a settlement of $600,000 was reached between the county, the former sheriff, Wen and Mercurio. It's giving them some peace of mind.
We told you from the get-go we didn't do anything wrong.
Dallas County Attorney Matt Scholes, on the other hand, feels differently about the decision. In a statement, he wrote, "The county does not admit liability and does not agree that it has any fault in this case." But Wen and Mercurio say the real issue is the county's attitude towards its security.
Pretty important that Iowa revisits things. Otherwise, they are going to be the lowest hanging fruit and remain vulnerable.
The county attorney also sent out a warning of his own. In his statement, Matt Scholes said, quote, "I'm putting the public on notice that if this situation arises again in the future, I will prosecute to the fullest extent of the law." In the studio, Brian Tabbitt, KCRG TV9 News.
Okay, so, okay, maybe, where was it? Maybe I read an article. Anyway, I thought it went over this newscast here or whatever, but so what happened is there was a breakdown in communication, right? Like I say, the state legislature had hired this to be done at all state and county agencies. The problem is they did not convey this information to the local authorities, right? To say, hey, we're going to be doing pin testing on your building on this date and time, right? To give them a heads up. So when this deputy showed up, they thought somebody was breaking in there, but they showed, when the guy showed the credentials, they showed all the stuff, they showed the paperwork, they showed that they were supposed to be there and was supposed to be doing this test and everything. The deputy's like, we're okay with it, but the sheriff was like, no. And anyway, so the process. So what wound up happening like I said, this went to the Supreme Court to get the actual charges and everything dropped against them, the criminal charges. And the Supreme Court said, basically in a nutshell, was the state legislature had screwed up and dropped the ball by not conveying this information down to the local agencies. And that's why the state legislature stuff was disavowing all this, because they knew they'd screwed up and how this looked on them. And of course they were worried that the lawsuit and stuff, these two gentlemen and stuff would come after them, and they did not want to be on the hook for, a lawsuit stuff. Now, the problem that I have with this whole thing is this prosecuting attorney kind of acts like he's got a little case of the red ass, right? Because the Supreme Court stepped in and said, no, you're going to drop charges because these guys didn't do anything criminally wrong, right? Now, if somebody just willy-nilly decides to, hey, I don't think my county agencies are doing the due diligence to ensure and protect my information, right? You can't just go in there and say, hey, I'm going to do something like this or what have you, right? So, I guess in that instance or in that case, whatever, I'll give the prosecuting attorney a little bit of a break on that, right? But if you've got companies that are contracted and hired in to do things, and you start trying to do that kind of crap and try to, you're going to lose, and it's going to cost you money again. Now, those guys got, like I said, those guys got $600,000, right, in a lawsuit against the sheriff and the county itself, right, or the former sheriff and the county. But it took them, 6 years, to not only get the charges dropped, but also to get some sort of, payment back, and what have you. So, anyway, so me being in the IT field, like I said, for 30 some odd years, when I saw this story, of course, it piqued my interest, and I read it and seen through whatever else. And I was like, for something that started out so good, right? That state legislature going through that expense and cost to go out and to ensure that, the people of Iowa's data, was secure. That's a great thing. That's a good thing. That was money well spent, because a lot of time, and if you talk to anybody that has any dealings at all especially if they're in the cybersecurity sector, they'll tell you that, way too many times, your local governments, right? Your county, your city, municipalities and things like that. They don't do enough and take enough action to protect your data. They just don't. And there's even cases and stuff where the federal level, right? They don't do it. They're not taking the full steps and means by which they should be doing it. Anyway, and it's just, like I say, it's been, like I say, I've been doing it for this stuff for like 30 some odd years. And one of the prime responsibilities that I've been responsible for the better part of the last 20 some odd years is making sure that computers, operating systems and stuff are up to date and patched, to make sure that any and all vulnerabilities there, and to monitor people's login histories and things of that nature, to make sure that there's nothing fishy or nefarious or whatever going on. Right. So this is something, while I'm not, quote, in cybersecurity, and I don't really dip my fingers too much into that world, because that's a world that is, it changes so fast and so quick, and like I say, I'm on my way out the door, so I'm not inclined to try to get into the cutting edge, where cybersecurity is 100% the cutting edge of technology as far as the IT industry. But I know enough about it to where when I talk to somebody who is in that, that level of IT, or doing that trade, I can communicate with them. I have to communicate with people like that at my job every day. They're in the cybersecurity part of our IT infrastructure. We work hand in hand, a lot of times, facilitating and maintaining, the security, of the data stuff where I work. So this was just a really interesting story, and I really, was really intrigued by it. So, what's the takeaway from all of this, right? I guess make sure you have a good liar on speed dial, so when the county sheriff locks you up, you can get that payday, right? Anyway, so that's my main story. That's my main topic or whatever for this evening. But anyway, so I hope you guys enjoyed it and you found that intriguing and interesting, as I did. I was, like I said, I was a little bit gobsmacked when I first started. I was like, especially when they had a contract and everything. But then I stopped and paused, and I thought to myself, this is a government. This is a state government. Anytime the government gets involved in anything, if it can be screwed up, it will be screwed up. That's the government for you, 100%. They don't know. Come here from Sikkim, most of them. And They're the type of guys that'll sit there and girls and stuff that'll piss on your leg and try to tell you it's raining. So anyway, in other news that the unemployed would find interesting, Jessica Pizzle tweeted out a couple of days ago, says, Alexa treats me better than my husband. She says you get zero context, and whatever you think that means is true. Now, some of you may not know who Jessica Pizzle is. But of those of you that know who Jessica Pizzle is, that tweet makes 100% sense to you. Jessica Pizzle is also my co-host over on Clear as Mud, which, by the way, we fired back up and we're giving it another run. We're back for our 5th season. 5 seasons. 5 years, over 5 years. That had a little bit of a break here season between years 4 and, well, probably about 3.5 to 4. 5. Anyway, it was a little bit of a break there where we took a little bit, but we're back every Saturday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You find us over on the Clear as Mud channel. Anyway, she's one of my co-hosts along with Buddy Buttons. And one of the former co-hosts as well, Seth, has rejoined us as well. I was very glad that Seth came back, and I was very happy about that. So anyway, in some drama, I don't really like to do drama news too much or anything like that, but I found this one kind of interesting. This is this clip resurfaced for Denims. Denims, in case you guys don't know who Denims is a political streamer, what they kind of call a bread tuber over on Twitch. And she is, I'll say it this way. She did have a lawsuit pending against her, from Ethan Klein of the H3H3 Studios or Productions. He filed a lawsuit, a copyright infringement lawsuit against her and Casey Tron and what is that other Twitch streamer? Another one of the bread tubers. I can't remember her name. Anyway, I know that Ethan came to a out of court settlement with Casey Tron, but I think he still got the lawsuit pending against Denims and why can't I remember that person's, anyway. But this old clip of Denims just recently surfaced. Let's see here. Let's go to is this? No, I don't like that one. Let's go with this one here. Oh, good Lord, that's even worse. Yeah, this one will work. So this is from 7 years ago. And the person that clipped this, you guys can't, let me get this up here, maybe you can see it. That chat, everything's in the way. Good night. Anyway, the title of the clip that they gave this clip was "Incest is Wincest." Kind of interesting, don't you think? But anyway, listen to what Denims had to say here.
Incest is weird and a little gross, but ethically completely fine if it's in between consenting adults and there's no power creep relations. And the people in those relationships are not having children. I think if you remove those 3 factors, there's nothing ethically wrong with 2 consenting adults.
That's right, folks. You heard it. She said, as long as they're consenting adults and there's no power dynamic, whatever that means, that it's fine as long as they're not having no children. As long as they're not reproducing, it's fine. It's fine. I'm like, when I saw this, I was like, you. So, anyway, I don't know. There has to be more context. But again, this was from like 7 years ago. I'm sure that VOD is way long gone. I don't know how this was even discovered, but I guess I don't know. Maybe she'll get, I don't know. I can't put my mind to it. I'll put it that way. I can't put my mind to it. What in the world is going on here? Okay. So I got a little bit of I used to do these little things called palate cleansers, and they were just little short videos. More times than not, it was on Twitter or X or whatever it is that you call it. I'm not getting into the semantics of all that, whatever. But anyway, so this one here I found kind of interesting because this kind of reminded me of this dude I know named Toxic Piplup. And I don't know if you guys know who Toxic Piplup is. If you know who Toxic Piplup is, could I get a one down there in the chat? Isn't that what all the fancy streamers, say? Give me a one in the chat, folks, to let me know, whatever. So if you know who Toxic Piplup is, oh, so Bimo says they know who Toxic Piplup is. So anyway, this cat here kind of reminds me of old Toxic Piplup, right? So let's just give this a once through. What do you say here?
Is that a White Castle vending machine at the airport? Don't mind if I do.
Now, some of you good, kind, and gentle folks may not know what a White Castle is. But a White Castle is they call them a slider. And for good reason. They're these little old, nowadays I think they call them, they call them sliders, but they're these little old hamburgers that are about the size of a, I don't know, 1.5, something like that, inch square piece of meat hamburger, and they cook them over a bed of steamed onions. They got a big old flat grill, and they have all these diced, chopped, real fine onions, and they keep them on the grill, whatever. And so then when you get you go in, you don't just get a hamburger, right? You get 4, 5, 6, whatever. A hamburger. I know the first time I was ever introduced to White Castles, when I was moved up and was living in Indiana, a buddy, our guy I met and became friends with up here, I picked him up one evening. He goes, "Hey, go through the White Castles. I want to get some." I said, "Okay." And he was kind of a slender feller. We down south, we'd say he looked a little wormy. He was just nothing but, basically hiding bones. There was no meat on him at all. And anyway, so he said, "Go through the White Castles." I was all right, so I drove him through the White Castles. And he proceeded to order like 12 hamburgers, right? And then some chicken sandwiches too. And I looked at that boy and I was like, damn, how are you going to eat all that? I couldn't. I can't even put away that kind of stuff. And, so we go through whatever, and it wasn't that much. It wasn't all that much money for it either, which was kind of a little bit, for that many hamburgers, I thought it'd been more money. I was like, this must be some really bad stuff. And so, we go through the whatever, and pull over there, park so we could eat whatever and not spill it all inside of my car. And he pulled that first hamburger out and it was gone, right? Like in one bite. Because they ate these, listen, the hamburger patty and the bun and all of it, the chopped onions and whatever, and they put a pickle. You get a pickle. I forgot about the pickle. No condiments of any kind. Just a, hello there. How you doing there? Lord, let me get my glasses here. Roar, shot. Anyway, and it's just a bite. They're literally a bite. It's no more than a bite. You just the whole thing in your darn mouth. I was like, well, good Lord. So shortly thereafter, I got to try them because whatever, and I found out. Oh my gosh! Listen, y'all, you get a bait of them and eat them, it'll clean you out. If you're needing a good salt dosing, as we say, and get a good clean out, man. Let me tell you what. Anyway, they'll clean you out. And that's what happened to that guy right there. They're talking about the original gut bombs. Good night. Belly bomber. Yeah. Belly bomber, gut bomb. Yeah. Hey, you like my little travel mug here? It's a certified coffee beans. You can get this at my store. Yeah. It's nice. Keeps it hot for a long time. It's good. A bait of White Castle hamburgers, Mittens. That's what. So, anyway, let's see. Is there anything else out there? That's all the stuff I really had. But let's see if there's anything else out there we can. What is this here? Let's see what else we got going. Is there anything new out here? Hey, Zero Core, how you doing, Hoss? Is anything? I don't know. Let's see here. What we got here? Not seeing too much here. There's a lot of stuff going on, but it's just divisive stuff, right? It's just all people fussing and fighting over stuff that really I don't think matters to a hill of beans, and I just don't really like getting into that. I like talking about funny stuff. Uh-oh, what is this? K-Huck's doing a stream tonight? Well, hang on here. I didn't know that. Let's see here. What can I do here? Where is the thing where I go in and do... We tag some product. Oh, I didn't even tag no products on my thing. I'm a goober. Put that up there. And we'll put that up there. And yeah, we'll go there with that. That's good. Oh, she's on mute. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go in here. I think it's been. Listen, guys, bear with me for a minute. It's been forever and a day. Well, no, that's not where I do it. Where do? Oh, lordy. Oh, boy. Nope, stream health. Nope. Where is... Here, is this here where I get this here? Customization, here we go. Add a redirect. That's what I want to do. We're going to redirect. We're going to go over and we're going to send you guys to go check out. Here we go, the K-Hucks. We'll send you over there to do the K-Huck. Because like I said, that's about all I got tonight. It's kind of a short one. I was hoping to get an hour in, but sorry. I just didn't talk long enough, I reckon. But if I have a good day and I feel good tomorrow and work don't beat me down too terribly bad, I'll maybe we'll have another stream tomorrow night. You know, anything's possible. But in time, anyway, until next time, y'all, remember to keep your powder dry and look for me in the funny papers. I'll see you guys. Let's go say hello to K-Huck. What do you say, huh?